Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Chris Maloney back with you for another edition of CWN Predicts Impact Wrestling Final Resolution 2020, taking place tonight at 8 p.m. on Fight, as well as Impact Plus from Skyway Studios in Nashville, Tennessee. Not exactly sure if it is live. I couldn't find anything about that online, but regardless, we do have 9 big matches taking place tonight. Like I said, available tonight on Fight. Also available on Impact Plus. You can sign up for 30 days for free as far as Impact Plus goes. All you got to do is have a credit card or a debit card, an email address. You've never signed up for a subscription before, and away you go. And you watch pretty much Final Resolution 2020 for free tonight, which is the last big event for 2020 for Impact Wrestling there. But like I said, we got 9 big matches on hand tonight. Including a couple title defenses as well. But match number 1 of the night, the Sea Stars, Ashley Vox and Delmi XO taking on Havoc and Nevaeh. And it's going to be interesting here because you've got 2 mainstays and then 2 newbies. And I didn't realize that Vox and XO were real-life sisters. I researched that just before the show there. But and I think I saw them at an event in Toronto in the summer of 2019. I believe it was. I'm trying to think. Oh, it's been a while, but anyways, yeah. I mean, when I saw them, I didn't know too much of them, but when I did get to see them, I was impressed. So I just forget what the name of the event. The Summit, yes, the Summit. I believe was the event I got to see them at last year. So, anyways, but yeah, taking on Havoc and Nevaeh. Havoc and Nevaeh still strong as far as the Impact Women's Tag Team Championship goes. So I can't see them losing at all. I can see the Sea Stars putting on a great performance here. But I'm going to say Havoc and Nevaeh for the win in this one. Match number 2, I've put down for the cash match, and that's featuring Kiera Hogan as special guest referee and Tasha Steelz as the special ring announcer. 2 participants in this match are the one and only Hernandez and Falaba. No. And anyways, it's for that big roll of cash that seems to be making its way around, the 4 of them there. Interesting. You've got Hogan as referee, Tasha Steelz out there as well. They say this match is whoever wins the match basically gets the that cash, so to speak. I can't see that happening. A lot of shenanigans going to take place in this one. But if I have to predict a winner here, based on the fact that Tasha and Kiera have tried to be friendly with Falaba, I'm going to say Hernandez for the win with this one here, and that's second match of the night. Third match of the night is Final Defeat Rohit Challenge of 2020 for the X Division Championship. And it's Rohit Raju as champ taking on To Be Determined. So he made a statement this past Tuesday on Impact Wrestling, basically said this is going to be the last challenge of 2020. Anybody can apply to fight him with the exception of TJP, and he's basically got TJP in front of him as he's stating this. So it'll be interesting because TJP can't, technically compete for the title, but it doesn't mean that one of his alter egos can't. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to say Manic makes an appearance tonight. And coincidentally enough, I was on ImpactWrestling.com just before the show here. And it was, what was it? A ladder match, I think, for the X Division Championship. And it was the American Wolves with Davey Richards as well as Eddie Edwards in the match. And then they had Manic in this. So I think it was a precursor, so to speak. So I'm going to say Manic comes out, beats Rohit Raju, or Suicide for that matter. But I'm going to say Manic, and goes on to win the X Division Championship there. And we know how Crazy Steve played out. So all of a sudden, Crazy Steve, Rohit had no idea that it was Crazy Steve under the Suicide mask, and he ended up winning. So I think that was a precursor as well to say, hey, I don't think Rohit Raju is going to question. He's going to be PO'd at the loss, but I don't think he's going to question if it's TJP underneath that mask. So I'm going to say Manic for the win for the X Division Championship there. Match number 4 of the night. A couple local boys. If you're listening to this show for the very first time, Chris Maloney, London, Ontario, Canada. So when I say local boys, Eric Young is local Canadian, of course, here in Ontario. Joe Doring, BCW, Border City Wrestling, of course, and then Rhino. And Rhino got his start down there in Detroit. Border City Wrestling as well. I believe the AWF, the Apocalypse Wrestling Federation back in the day, and where he was tight with Edge and Christian and those guys there. But Eric Young, like I said, with Joe Doring taking on Rhino. I'll be interested to see if we see the appearances of Cody Deaner as well as Cousin Jake. With regards to Rhino, obviously Cody looked extremely upset with the loss, this past week on Impact Wrestling there. Do they keep Eric Young strong with Joe Doring by his side, or they put Rhino over? It depends. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say if Cody Deaner, is basically around and I'm going to take a shot in the dark at this one. If Cody Deaner is around, I'm going to say Eric Young wins based on the fact that Cody Deaner makes a heel turn tonight. That is what I'm going to say there. If there's no Cody Deaner, I'm still going to say Eric Young wins, but it's going to be thanks to Joe Doring. So Eric Young's going to win regardless, I think. But I'm going to say we might see a Cody Deaner heel turn take place, which would be absolutely kind of cool. So I'm down with that. Either way, you see Rhino losing, Eric Young picking up the win. So that is my prediction there. Match number 5 of the night, old school rules match. Basically, if Larry wins, he's a free man, but if he loses, Dreamer is going to take him downtown. So Tommy Dreamer taking on Larry D of Triple XL. We've got AC Romero probably going to be in his corner as well. Dreamer's got really no alliances right now, so he's kind of on his own, but he's got the old school rules match in his favor. Not exactly sure what that entails. Whether or not it's there's no weapons, no DQs, no countouts. That would be an Extreme Rules match, but an old school rules match would be interesting to see how they announce it there. But with this taking place, I'm not going to say Larry D's going to win. I'm going to say Dreamer's going to win. I'm going to say they keep it interesting. It reminds me kind of the, somewhat anyways, of Boss Man and the Mountie at SummerSlam. I think it was 91. And Boss Man taking the Mountie and putting him in the jail cell there. So I'm gonna see where they go with this, because it's been comical with the Johnny Bravo thing, and then Tommy Dreamer obviously playing the judge, the jury, the executioner, so to speak, as Hulk Hogan used to say. But I'm gonna say Dreamer wins and then basically ends up taking Larry D downtown, and then we're gonna see skits take place from there. So I'm kind of excited to see where they go with this. But I'm gonna say Dreamer with the win. Match number 6 of the night. Mixed tag team match. Eddie Edwards and Alicia, husband and wife, taking on Tenille Dashwood and Caleb with a K. So I don't think we've seen Caleb wrestle yet. Obviously, Alicia blew off Tenille, and Caleb this past Tuesday. Caleb basically said, hey, you're out. That's it. And basically Eddie Edwards, alongside his wife, they're going to have a mixed tag team match. I don't think it's going to be intergender. I think it's going to be mixed tag. But I see Tenille Dashwood taking the loss on this, actually. They've been pushing her strong, but the fact is, I'm going to say Eddie and Alicia, husband and wife, are going to be too much to handle for Tenille and Caleb with a K. So I'm going to say a husband and wife team for the win in this one. I don't think it's going to be over tonight. I think they'll probably feud, through the end of the year. But and that being said, it's only 3 weeks left. But I see Tenille and Caleb with a K losing tonight. Match number 7 of the night. One of the ones I'm looking forward to the most. Impact Wrestling Knockouts Championship match. So we got Deonna Purrazzo as champ, with Kimberly in her corner, taking on the one and only Rosemary with Taya Valkyrie in the corner. I want to say that Taya is going to turn heel, but with the Impact Tag Team Championship, tournament's still taking place. It's not going to happen. Deonna Purrazzo, is she going to win? Is she going to retain? What sense does it make for Rosemary to win the Impact Knockouts Championship at this point? Although it would be cool to see her be a double champion. Do we see Su Yung? Do we see Susie? Obviously, Father James Mitchell has been a part of this for the past couple of weeks. I'm going to say Deonna Purrazzo wins based on the fact that Su Yung makes an appearance and helps out Deonna Purrazzo to beat Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie. So that is my prediction there. So, and still, and I'm going to say Rosemary, Taya Valkyrie. It'll be interesting to see if they make the finals as far as the Knockouts Tag Team Tournament goes. So I'm going to say Deonna Purrazzo with the win in this one. Match number 8, which is right now announced as semi-main event. Karl Anderson taking on Ethan Page with Josh Alexander by his side. Obviously, big LG Luke Gallows hasn't been on TV as of late. So it's be interesting to see if he makes an appearance tonight. Karl Anderson otherwise is going solo. But The downside about this is the match is absolutely entertaining to me, but the fact is, knowing Ethan Page's contract status, it makes no sense to put him over. Basically, like I said, with 3 weeks left in the year, and him being a free agent on January 1st. So you've got one half of the World Tag Team Champions in Karl Anderson, basically, going into a match with somebody whose contracts expire at the end of the year. So I hate the backstory behind it, because I'd like to just say, Ethan Page is going to win based on the fact he's the part of the North and Canadian, the bias part of me, but I'm going to say Karl Anderson with the win on this one. I'm going to say the big LG, Luke Gallows, Doc Gallows makes an appearance here. I'm going to say Ethan Page loses. I'm going to go on a limb with this one too. I'm going to say Ethan Page loses because of Josh Alexander. I'm going to say, like I said, Big LG makes an appearance, but I'm going to say the reason Ethan Page loses is due to Josh Alexander, whether or not he interferes or somehow, cost him the match accidentally, whatever the case may be. But I'm going to say Karl Anderson with the win. And the main event of the night, Rich Swann taking on Chris Bay. Chris Bay is actually wrestling twice tonight. So that is interesting because of the fact he's got one appearance for New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's got another appearance for Impact Wrestling in the World Championship match tonight. So it's interesting because of the fact Rich Swann, I'm going to eventually pronounce his name right, has done well for himself since coming to Impact Wrestling. The whole storyline with regards to Eric Young was great. Excuse me. Now all of a sudden you've got the storyline with him being champion, protecting that championship as much as he possibly can, especially with the likes of Kenny Omega on the scene. And that's been announced for this coming Tuesday, where Omega is going to be making another appearance with Impact Wrestling. It's also been announced that Impact, but AEW is going to feature Omega with Don Callis in his corner as far as Dynamite this coming Wednesday goes. So it's the way it all intertwines as the two promotions go. So the AEW and the Impact Wrestling. Rich Swann, I think, to me, is a strong champion going against, say, AEW, for example. Chris Bay, I love the guy. He's growing on me. He's tremendously skilled. I love the attitude that goes along with this heel character. But the fact is, when it comes down to it, I can't see him being in that feud with AEW as champion. Obviously, Omega came out, said he was the belt collector. Omega versus Chris Bay, great match. But to me right now, it wouldn't sell the way, say, a Rich Swann versus Kenny Omega match would happen, so to speak. So in saying that, Swann with the win retains the Impact Wrestling Championship. And they've got Hard to Kill coming up next month. So it'd be interesting to see if Rich Swann goes against Kenny Omega in that one, or unless Omega decides to go after the X Division Championship. And again, TJP versus Omega would be absolutely phenomenal as well. So, but I'm going to say Rich Swann with the win there. Strong showing for him. He's got his, obviously his alliance with Willie Mack. Chris Bay's been hanging out with Moose. But I'm going to say Rich Swann for the win with this. So to recap, Havoc and Nevaeh, match number 1 for the win. Match number 2, I'm going to say Hernandez. Match number 3, I'm going to say Manic for the X Division Championship to become the new X Division champion in that Rohit Challenge, the final one of 2020. Eric Young for the win in match number 4. Match number 5, I'm going to say Tommy Dreamer. Match number 6, I'm going to say Eddie Edwards and Alicia. Match number 7, I'm going to say Diana Perrazzo to retain. Match number 8, I'm going to say Karl Anderson for the win. And then match number 9, I'm going to say Rich Swann to retain as well. So, guys, that is it for Impact Wrestling Final Resolution taking place tonight at 8 p.m. on Fight. Standalone pay-per-view if you wanted to. Or, like I said, Impact Plus, sign up. It is free. Debit card, credit card, email address, boom. And as long as you haven't subscribed before, you get a free 30 days. So, you basically a free pay-per-view tonight. So if you want it. So like I said, Impact Plus, credit card, debit card, and email address, and away you go. And you can watch the show for free. And the cool thing is you can watch kind of any way you want to. So on your computer, if you have an Xbox One, you can watch it on there. If you have a phone or a tablet or whatever the case may be, you can watch it that way as well. If you're on your laptop, you want to stream it to your TV, you can do that as well. So it's all over the place. But it's an Impact is. Even as of today, I logged into Impact Plus, and they've got new software that they've uploaded to or upgraded to the website. So it should be more seamless as far as the presentation goes. They've had a few glitches, but what company hasn't? But to know they've invested in their product kind of makes me proud to be an Impact Wrestling fan. So guys, like I said, 8 o'clock tonight, Impact Plus as well as Fight. and Skyway Studios, Nashville, Tennessee. And again, we will be back 11 p.m.-ish, maybe 11:30, depending on how long the show goes. There are 9 matches, but we'll be back, basically 15 to 20 minutes after the show has ended tonight with the recap show. So that's CWN Recap Impact Wrestling Final Resolution 2020. I'm going to say 11 p.m.-ish live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. And you can also check that out on cwnonline.ca. You'll be able to watch the live stream on the website as well. But guys, that is it for now. I hope you guys enjoy Impact, Final Resolution tonight. As always, you can check me out personally online at Chris Maloney CWN. That is on Twitter, Instagram, as well as Reddit. And I'm still trying to get a hold of the why Reddit's so popular. I love the news format, but I haven't posted yet. But hopefully by the end of the year, I learn how to pick it up properly. But guys, that is it. I will be back, like I said, later on tonight. CWN recap for Final Resolution. Hope you guys check it out. And like I said, enjoy the show. Sign up for free over there at Impact Plus, and we'll see everybody later tonight. All right. Thanks. Take care.